Hello and welcome to Mr.ClixFlix. I'm your host, as always, Mr. Clix, working every day to bring you the best Heroclix channel available on YouTube. And today's episode is a battle report of my experience at Heroclix Nationals in Glen Burnie, Maryland. First, before we get into all that, though, I really wanted to thank all you guys that bought all those grab bags. You actually made it so that it was only about $100 out of my pocket to go there. So I really wanted to thank you guys for that. I also want to let you know that I am still selling grab bags. So I have money to go to Worlds. I have a link in the description below. Buy those, same price as before. As far as I know, it still has a ton of good stuff. And again, most of the money, well, all the money goes to me going to these events. And then also, if we're able to get rid of all the grab bags, what I'm hoping to do is pick up some of the purchasable con exclusives because I was able to get a couple for myself and get a couple of the purchasable ones at Worlds, and then maybe do them as giveaway for you guys. So we sell the grab bags, I'm going to be able to do that. We don't. I might be able to get like one of the cheaper ones, but I want to do like one of the good ones for you guys. So click on the link below. Buy as many as you can, please. Tell your friends, refer them. But all right, battle report. I signed up for both qualifiers. And they were I had heard originally that that they were going to be Trinity War, like both boosters were going to be Trinity War. Then you heard it was something else. Then when you got there, it ended up being one booster Trinity War and one booster of Superman and the Legion of Superheroes, which I'm almost certain is going to be retired anyway. So I think they were probably trying to get rid of some extra stock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys what I pulled, tell you what I played out of what I pulled, and then teams I went up against, tell you my record, and that's about it. So in the first qualifier, I ended up pulling a Mira from Trinity War, a Parademon from Trinity War, Colossal Boy from Slosh, iVampire, Sensor Girl, Frankenstein, Sea King, Phantom Girl, Universo, and Lex Luthor. So as you can see, my pools, I wasn't super stoked about them. I didn't have any like for sure got to play like 250 point Superman, 300 point Martian Manhunter. I didn't really have good secondary picks like the Lex Luthor from Trinity War, Batman. Like I was lacking a lot. So what I ended up doing was I played iVampire at 170 at his full point dial to go on those last couple god clicks, which really I actually had to count on those. Parademon at 50 points, and this guy was actually probably my MVP of the first qualifier. And then who else? Universo, who did a few things. He wasn't bad. My point total was let's see here, 241, 291 points, and that's what I used was 3-man crew, full point iVampire, Universo at 71, and well, he only has 1 point value, and the Parademon. So what they ended up doing was the person you were seated across from was who you ended up playing first. And my opponent ended up playing Gates, the Lust, Chase, and Black Mana. And something that I didn't really like about this tournament, we're going to get into, I'm going to do a Heroclix huddle after this about, just my general experience. But you had to play on the map that was in front of you. Originally, they said in the rules for the tournament that if you didn't like that map, that if you brought a map, you could play it as long as it was modern. And I was kind of really counting on that because on more than one match, the map really wasn't helping my team, and I had one map roll, but it just it wasn't going to work out. And then they also had it where any orange text on the maps, whether it said for tournament use or not, was ignored, and any orange terrain that had to deal with that was considered clear. So really changed a lot of maps, especially the 1-star Sapphire one ended up just being a shooting gallery, and for like my team it was kind of a pain because I had one range guy and he doesn't really do damage, he just mind controls. So that was a little bit annoying, at the fact that you rolled for map, but really it didn't matter other than going first. So what ended up happening was I went out, Parademon, he ended up, he didn't realize he had the calculator team ability on Black Mana and the Legion on Gates, so he wasn't copying Mystics, and I wasn't going to tell him, hey, you should copy Mystics. So about halfway through the game, he realized that he should probably be doing that, so he did. So I didn't take as much Mystics damage as I probably should have. But what I ended up doing was he sent out a volley with Black Mana. He played super conservative. Sent out a volley with Black Mana. I ended up, he missed Eye Vampire. And then I moved Eye Vampire up to tie up, or well, no, he hit Eye Vampire because he hit him twice in a row before I was able to get to him, because he was actually on his hypersonic click when I finally got to him. And then that's his quote-unquote god clicks is click 7. And then hit him with Eye Vampire. Did a little bit of running around. Universo mind controlled Black Mana one time and was able to get a hit on Lust. That's what I was planning on trying to do with Universo, is if they had any sort of feedback damage or something, I was going to make their guys attack each other to deal their own feedback damage. So I was able to do one time with him. I wasn't really able to get in any triple target mind controls, so I wasn't really able to fully utilize them. But that 7 range was actually pretty nice. Parademon got who destroyed him? The Lust. Lust killed him. And then what happened after that is Eye Vampire was doing work, and ended up getting to a point in the game where Black Mana was on his last click. Or no, I knocked out Black Mana. Gates was on his last click, and Lust had 2 clicks left, and time was called, and I was still on that first God click on the Eye Vampire, but he KO'd Universo and Parademon. So I lost the first round, ended up going into the loser's bracket, where I played a person using Colossal Boy, Starman, and a Black Gate Guard. And this is the match where I really got a lot of use out of Parademon. Is I was like, you know what, I need Eye Vampire to just tie up people, and I'll do running shot with the Parademon and get Universo to do a couple mind controls, maybe help me out. So I sent Eye Vampire into the kill box. He ended up keeping his team close together to where they were all adjacent, so I was able to tie up all 3 of his guys with Eye Vampire, which really helped my cause a lot. And then what I was able to do is running shot Energy Explosion. And if you don't know, Starman has traded Energy Shield. I'm not sure if it's traded or if it was special power. But anyway, he ended up with Energy Shield Deflection and Super Senses. And he had a 19 defense. And Eye Vampire, even on his good clicks, has a 11 attack. And everybody else on my team had like a 10 or a 9. Like this team was really difficult to use because they had such low attack values. And that was something too in the first game. I missed a lot. All I needed was like 5s and 6s, which statistically I should get at least 50% of the time. I had trouble rolling 4. It was bad. But this game I did pretty good, especially with the Parademon. This is the match where I'm gonna say I got a lot of mileage out of them, because what I was doing is I would running shot energy explosion on Colossal Boy, who was adjacent to the Blackgate Guard and the Starman, and he'd energy explosion. It would deal 1 click to Colossal Boy because he had impervious, and he didn't make any of his impervious rolls, so he took the 1 click. Starman took the 1 click for energy explosion. The Blackgate Guard on a couple of his clicks had toughness, so he didn't take it at first, but then once I got him wore down, he started taking it. Same thing, Vampire had toughness, so he didn't take them. And Universo just kind of stayed on the outside. He mind controlled the Blackgate Guard a couple times, and to get some hits on Starman. And that was it. He didn't KO anybody on my team. Vampire never got off, I think, click 2. It was just my opponent had a tough game. He missed a lot of rolls that game, and I really made good use of my energy explosion so that I was getting multiple damages out of 1 attack. And then that put me in the winners bracket again, where I played in the 3rd round a Blight and a race car. And this is where my low attack values really caught up with me. Blight has no movement attack, so I was okay with the matchup initially because he didn't have any movement attack. So I was like, well, if I can just stay to where he has to choose to move or attack, I'm good. Like, there's, just stay outside of his firing arc until I'm ready. But what ended up happening is I did that, but what ended up happening was I just didn't have the attack values to do him in. I couldn't roll an 8. I needed a 6, I think, to KO his race car. That took me like half the game to roll the 6 that I needed. And then what ended up happening is he knocked out. He ended up wiping my whole team because I just left Vampire adjacent to him. Tried to roll breakaway on a hypersonic and I missed with a 1. And probbed it and I still rolled a 1. And then he exploit weakness to KO Vampire. Universo held him in place for a while, but not too much happened. Parademon got KO'd right away. So I lost that one, but I did manage to KO Race Car, so I got some points. And then the last match in the first qualifier that I played was against this really nice guy, and I feel really bad that I don't remember his name. But he played Emerald Empress and Envy. And this was a good map, or a good matchup. We played on the Star Sapphire map from War of Light. And like I said, like the hindering was gone. It was weird. It was just an open field. He mind controlled Vampire a couple times to make me hit my own guys. He I'm trying to think of what happened. I tried to mind control him back. I did manage to do it. And made his own Mystic guys attack each other to try to keep mitigate my own Mystic's damage. And then Vampire, still trying to tie him up, ended up, I get mind controlled a couple times so that they weren't tied up, but I ended up getting them in there and keeping them in there. And then once he got on those God clicks, took out Envy first, and then, I took out Emerald Empress first because I mind controlled the Envy to KO him, and then that put him down, and then Vampire KO'd him. So that's how it went. I ended up 2-2 in the first one. I wasn't happy with my pool, so I blamed pretty much my 2-2 on my pools, and really just terrible dice rolls. If you could have seen my dice rolls, it would have made you weep. I had 1 crit miss in a game. No crit hits. I don't think I rolled above a 9 the whole time. That was only like 1 time I did that. And so it was bad. So then the second qualifier happened, and life got a little bit better for me as far as pools go. And I got everything written down here. So that's why you see me glancing down once in a while. For qualifier number 2, again, we got Trinity War and Superman Legion of Superheroes. So I got Black Orchid, okay. Shadow Lass, another eye vampire, which I did like him. I don't know. I'm not doing a figure review on him, but I liked him. I just didn't like him as my main guy at the national level tournament. Daxamite. Um, so he looked pretty good, but Daxamite, High Father. So that was a good one. Aquaman, Cymbal Banging Monkey, Mano, Catwoman, and Batman. So I felt like I had pretty good pools. The team I ended up playing was High Father at 130, Batman at 85. I really wanted to play him real bad at 150, but I really wanted that High Father trait. So I went 85. Aquaman at 65, or I'm sorry, at 60. And the Deadly Cymbal Banging Monkey. So this team ended up being, I think, 298, 297, something like that. I'm not doing the math right here. But anyway, it was close to 300. So general idea was to high father the opposing team, take away their biggest player. And then the Batman is super good, you know, with his ability to pick power, pick an attack or damage power, has outwit and perplex always, and then sometimes he has prob. Aquaman for his transporter ability. He's just really good. That charge in 11. Yeah, so, and then the Cymbal Banging Monkey was just to fill in some points and maybe try to surprise an opponent. So what I did is High Father hung out in the back, roll support on Aquaman the first turn to try to give him +1 of stats. I think that happened all but the last game I played in, the last game I played in. But that nothing was going to help me in that game, and you'll know why once we get to that team. And then Aquaman carried Batman and Cymbal Banging Monkey to a location that I would need, and then we'd go from there. And then what I would do typically is send Aquaman in with Batman trying to hang out in some hindering and provide support and a little bit of range fire that I could, and also Cymbal Banging Monkey to be up close. High Father TK'd a few people if need be, and also made use of his prop. So the first opponent that I played was actually Dragon from the Realms, and this was probably my most fun match of the day as far as in the qualifiers. He was just a really cool guy to talk to. Knew what he was talking about. He wasn't like a dink about anything. Like if you were thinking about something, he'd try to help you, and I actually tried to help him in a couple places. But his pools weren't very good, but he ended up beating me. But so again, what happened is we had to play on the map in front of us. The map in front of us, I forget what set it was from, but it ended up where it was like a bowl shape with this huge thing of it was like blocking in the middle with like sort of blocking outside of that middle, so it was really difficult to move through the center, so you couldn't really cut the map off, and it's important to know that whenever we get to the why I lost. So did my thing with High Father, got it. Aquaman carried Batman and Cymbal Banging Monkey to a point. Then we parried off on position a little bit. It got to a point where he was going to get the first shot. So I placed Aquaman in a way so that he had to attack Cymbal Banging Monkey with a close combat attack and a perplexed up defense. So he had to hit a 19 up close. So he earned it. And then Batman was fading into the back, and Aquaman was also there to provide a backup close combat attack if I needed it. He hit his attack on Cymbal Banging Monkey. And before we get into that, we're going to talk about his team, because his team was actually really efficient. He had Lex from Trinity War at 100 points. Tarok, however you say his name, 150-point figure from Slosh, and a Parademon. And so I high fathered away Tarok, and So then that left him with Lex and a Parademon. And that Lex with that subterfuge token is stupid. It's difficult to play against. It makes it so he has to take the first attack, or well, he's the guy that gets to attack first. He doesn't have to, but he gets to, unless you're basing him. So that happened, and then he scored a hit on my Symbol Banging Monkey with his Parademon, and then he KO'd Aquaman real fast with Lex, which left Batman. And Batman was actually able to KO the Parademon, and he stayed in this little tiny square hindering terrain for like ever. And what happened was we traded blows. I actually was attacking mostly at range with Batman for the longest time ever, outwitting stuff, perplexing stuff down, because what he kept trying to do was attack Highfather to get the pack broken. And then what ended up changing the game to where he switched his strategies was I TK'd Turok in, and then outwitted his defense and bladesed him for I think 4 or 5 when I did it. And I hurt him real bad. And it was at that point I'd already hit Lex a little bit. And what he did was he, at that point in the game, just decided that he was going to run out time. So he gave me one turn where I had a chance to KO Turok with, I mean, he didn't want to do it, but what he had to do was when I TK'd Turok adjacent to Batman to do that, it broke him up from Lex so that he couldn't try to outwit things. And also what he was doing was Lex has that leadership where he can remove a token from himself, and Turok has leadership. So what he was doing was he double token Lex, and then once he did that, he still could remove 2 tokens in a turn. It was sickening how efficient it was. And at the beginning of the game, he wasn't really getting them, but he saved all of his good rolls for the end of the game, because once I TK'd that Turok in and I hit him with my one attack, then he moved his Lex in adjacent so that the next turn he could carry him away. I outwitted his defense again, rolled for my attack, missed, rolled for my attack again, missed again, and then that was basically the game. He hit all of his leadership rolls so he could fly around with Turok to keep everybody just out of range. And then I tried to cross the board, and it got to a point in the game where I was like, I need to KO somebody because I'm behind on points. And there was about 5 minutes left in the game after I'd really tried hard to cut the map off. And had that blocking not been in the middle, I would have done it. I had really good positioning in that game. So it ended up where I had to basically give him a free shot on Batman. He took it. I had shape change picked. Missed my shape change. He even hit with a close combat attack on a 19 and KO'd my Batman, and then he tried to take a couple shots at Highfather, couldn't put him down. Time was called. He won. And so again, I was in the losers bracket. It was a really efficient team. He didn't really have what I would have called great pools, but the Lex with the Turok or however you say him, being able to take off 2 tokens in a turn, and just with that subterfuge token where he definitely gets the first attack was just really difficult to get around. And then him just KOing Aquaman real fast was a pain. So I mean he gets all the credit. I mean he did a good job, but so there's that. The next game was Shrinking Violet, Cosmic Boy, and Deadman. So Highfathered away Deadman. Not that he's really an offensive power, but Highfathered him away. Then Cosmic Boy, I think Aquaman took him out. Shrinking Violet, Batman took out. It was like a 5 or 6 turn game. It was not very long. And then I took out Deadman. It was basically the team worked exactly how it was supposed to, outwitting defenses, hitting with blades and getting a good blades roll. Because this Batman's design, well, at 85 points, he's an up close guy mostly, and he only has that 2 damage. So if I look at somebody and I see that they have 2 damage, or well, 3 damage and less, if it's 2 damage, I'm definitely rolling for blades. If it's 3 damage, unless I really need more damage, I probably won't roll it. And if it's anything more than that, I never roll for blades. But what made it nice is outwit them. And my blades rolls, actually, if I was able to hit, my blades rolls themselves weren't too bad. So KO'd his dead man was the last guy. So whenever he got on his resurrection clicks, there wasn't anybody else on the board. So he was KO'd. So that put me at 1-1. Then the next match I had was against a Solomon Grundy, Monkey, the Cymbal Banging Monkey, and a Madame Xanadu. And this, I ended up winning, but this game was, again, not very fun. I mean, it was fun, but it was a chore to put down Grundy. So what I did was his Cymbal Banging Monkey actually took out my Cymbal Banging Monkey. Then I KO'd his Cymbal Banging Monkey with Aquaman. Then Batman and Aquaman ganged up on Madame Xanadu. And Highfather was basically tying up Grundy since they couldn't attack each other. I was like, I'll just put him here and try to keep the battle close so that once that pack breaks, the cavalry's there. So I did that, and then game on. It was Grundy versus Aquaman and Batman and Highfather. So what ended up happening is I fought, I KO'd him. His outwit really hurt. He outwitted, once I based him with Aquaman, I outwitted his defense, charge blades. And I think I got a pretty decent hit out of it. I did hit him, but then he outwitted my defense and KO'd Aquaman. Kind of knew that was going to happen. And then it was just Highfather and Batman versus Grundy. He had decent rolls, but I was able to prob him out of them to where I think his Grundy actually crit missed once because I probbed it. And then Batman just outwitting his defense, bladesing. I did miss a couple of them, but still able to prob it, perplex up my attack. Then I KO'd him. He came back with his resurrection tokens. And then I think he dinged Highfather. He didn't hurt. He dinged him for like 3, I think. And then Batman was finally able to put him down. So I actually won that game, although it took forever. He kept... I was being stupid with my Batman. The Grundy was actually in one square of hindering. And then there was a square hindering like on a diagonal beside it. And he kept outwitting my Batman's outwit, prob, perplex. And like an idiot, I never thought to just, you know what, he has combat reflexes, move him up one. I was worried about trying to keep Batman alive. So once I moved him in there, the game actually went pretty quick because I had my outwit to take care of his defense. And once I realized that really shortened the game up and made it really difficult for him to win because Grundy's attack values are pretty good, but he doesn't have like a 12. So he was rolling a, we'll just say on the high end, an 11. 11 on a 19, he still needed an 8, and I had 2 probs. I'll give him that roll all day. So ended up KOing him. And then my last match was just not meant to be with the team I ended up facing was Ultraman, which, okay, Highfather him away, no big deal. Well, big deal, but not at the beginning of the game. I was like, maybe I can, if he has a support guy and a secondary attacker, I can take out like the secondary attacker and just sort of tie up the support guy until the end of the game so I can be 3-1. But his secondary guy was Johnny Quick, and then he had Phantom Girl. And I like Phantom Girl for constructed, but for sealed, she's kind of stupid unless somebody's smarter than me and knows how to run her. In which case, post a comment and let me know that I should have used her and I'm an idiot. So he I Highfather away Ultraman, and I was like, you know what, his Johnny Quick, there's nothing I have on this team that's going to stop this Johnny Quick. So I did the same thing I did with the Aquaman, Batman, and Cymbal Banging Monkey, and I was like, maybe I can get a quick KO on the Phantom Girl and then maybe he'll miss with his Johnny Quick. I don't know. I was like, at least if he hits me, I might not go down. So, but what he ended up happening was he gave Johnny Quick 1 damage to give him +1 to all of his stats. Quickly took out my Aquaman, and then ran far enough away to where Batman couldn't get to him. Then did all of his stats by +2. Quickly hit Ultraman, and then at that point, or I'm sorry, Highfather, and then at that point, Ultraman could do his thing, and I was just, I actually didn't even get an attack roll. That's how bad the last match went. It was fun to watch, but I knew it was going to happen as soon as I saw that team flop down. I was like, I don't have barrier. This map's pretty open. And again, like I said, they didn't let you change map. So if you won map roll, it still didn't matter. All that it mattered was for who was going first. So it was just, his team was designed to beat mine. That's what it was. He pulled good to beat the team I had. So I ended up 2-2 again. So I was 4-4 on the day. Ended up not qualifying, but I still had a good time. Played a ton of battle royales the next day. I ended up winning a team one, and coming in second, third, and fourth in some individuals, and second in another team one. So I got to play in a few battle royales the next day. That was the only thing that I was kind of upset about with the qualifiers, is that you couldn't, there was no time to do the battle royales. You had, like, literally there was less than 10 minutes between the two qualifiers. But again, I'm going to talk about that in the Heroclix huddle. So that's the battle report for my nationals experience for both qualifiers. Please remember to buy grab bags so that we can hopefully in a month or two talk about my world's experience. So click on that and buy a couple grab bags. And that's all I have for you guys today. As always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe so that you can be one of the first to view my Heroclix videos as they become available. Until next time, please remember that it's only critical miss if you don't have probability control.